Hi, everybody. Welcome to the iZigg mobile webinar training series. Today, we're going to be talking about data collection. So a few things before we go into the system and we do a little show and tell. Really, what is data collection? Really, it's a way for you to ask more information from your subscribers. And the way that we can facilitate this is through keywords and QR codes, as well as online sign-up pages. So as you are creating these vehicles to opt your subscribers into your campaigns, we can also program the keywords, QR codes, and online sign-up pages to ask additional information. So in order to do this, there is a little bit of setup. So first we need to know what data do we want to collect. So remember that when you opt somebody in through the system, you are only collecting their mobile number. So there is an opportunity to gain more information, such as their first name, last name, their email address, maybe some demographic information, including what region they are from, city, state, maybe even their birth month or anniversary date. Anything that will help you fine-tune your marketing campaigns and target your messaging in the future. Before we can collect that data, once we know what it is, we do need to create those custom data fields. And then we need to associate those with the various collection methods. So once we have decided what we want to collect, we've created the necessary fields and associated those with the methods, then we can go in the future and create dynamic targets. And this is really just a filtering option that you can create from your main lists. So in a list, if you had all the information such as the name, the birth month, the maybe the product that they're interested in the most, and you've collected these during your opt-in process, you can then choose those dynamic targets to fine-tune your send. So let's go ahead and go into the system and see how we can put this all together. So from your main iZigg dashboard, first thing we want to do, like we said, is to create those custom data fields. So you are probably a little more familiar with your dashboard now. There are lots of options to choose. So let's go into some of the ones that you may not have given much thought to in the past. This one we're going to select is custom data fields. And this is where we can create those headings and those data points that we would like to collect. As you can see, I've created city, I've created interested in, birth date, and state. So there are different methods that we can associate some of these labels to. Like we said earlier, those are going to be your keywords, but also your online sign-up pages. So let's go ahead and just create one together. So I'm going to create my first custom data field, and maybe this one is going to be, what is your birth month? So my input type really depends on the method that I am using to collect that data. For keywords, we're going to always select the text field. However, if we were creating an online sign-up page, we do have the option to either create a radio button, maybe a drop-down list, collect a number, or a calendar for a specific date. Here, I'm just going to select the text field because I am just going to be asking them their birth month to reply to the opt-in. If I was using an online sign-up page, I might ask a little bit more information. So if they wanted to know, well, what do you mean by birth month? You can say, please enter the month you were born in, or city you reside in, or city that you work in, depending. Now, is this required? I'm going to select no. However, you can select yes, especially if this is an online sign-up page. They will not be able to go further until they answer that particular question. So for our purposes, I'm creating a data field. What is your birth month? It's going to be a text field. And that I'm not going to have it required. So I can go ahead and create that. Like I said, you can create up to 10 unique data fields for information that you would like to collect. Now, it is important to note that in the system, there are some defaults that we've already programmed. So we do collect first name, last name, or full name, as well as email address. And we'll get into those as we are creating our keywords. So now that I have created those data fields, I now want to associate that with my collection method. And here I'm going to select the keyword option. So you can see I've selected a few already, but let's go ahead and just create a new one together. So I just want to create a keyword sign up. And remember, anytime a button turns blue, it means that you can select it. And I'm going to call this collect one. And I want it to go to either a new list that I can create or an existing list that exists in the system. I'm just going to go ahead and send it to my collect list. And then down in the composition, I'm going to go ahead and just type in my normal opt-in language that basically says you are now opted in to receive special text alerts. I always put the age restriction at 18. And then for our additional options, if you noticed, if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to notice that we have a data capture option. This is where we have those custom data fields that we just created. So for here, I'm going to go ahead and select this. And then you have a drop down to see what data that you would like to collect. And remember, I said that we do have some defaults here. So full name, first name, last name, and email address are already in here. But you can also see the ones that I created are here as well. So in this one, maybe I just want to collect their full name. So I'm going to select full name and add. Now, it's important to note that if you look back up to your original composition box, you'll see that a placeholder is there for you. So now it says, please reply with your full name. I'm going to add just a little bit more to that. I can change the wording altogether, or I think I'm just going to add, please reply with your full name so we can get to know you. So anytime a message is sent from the system with a keyword, there is a response that goes out once they reply. So they're going to reply with their full name. And then again, I have the option to either say, hey, thank you, we appreciate it, stay tuned for more alerts, or I can ask for additional data. So here, I think I'm just going to say thank you, and I'm going to add let's add, what is your birth month? So by adding that, you're going to notice that in my auto response, let's go ahead and add it. In my response message, your placeholder is there again, which says, please reply with what is your birth month. So I'm just going to change that so it makes a little bit more sense. Please reply with your birth month so we can send you specials or coupons or something to make them feel special. So I can either end it here or I can ask for additional information down in the response message. So here I think that I'm just going to say thank you. Please stay tuned for more announcements or whatever you would like. And a little trick, I always try to, if I have enough characters left, try to add additional spaces, because then that will add a space in between the compliance opt-out message as well. So here I'm going to go ahead and just create my keyword that has all of my data options, agree to the compliance message. And we have created a new keyword that's asking for data collection. Now I'm going to go into the one that I created just a few days ago because it is already approved. And what I also want to do is just make note that anytime you create a keyword in the system will automatically create a corresponding QR code for you. So you can see here, whenever I highlight that row, my options for actions that I can take will light up blue. Here, I'm just going to download my QR code. I'm going to select what type of format that I would like this in. And then it will automatically download onto my system. And if we look at that, you can save this, you can put this on a print material you would like, send out in newsletters or flyers. If you want to take this opportunity, just point your cell phone camera and click. It will automatically opt you into the system and ask you all of those data points. So you're going to receive that initial opt-in message and then asking you to reply with your full name, and then maybe asking you to reply with your birth month or what city you were in, whatever data points that you had selected for this collection method. So just a really fun, easy way to have people opt in instead of telling them to text your keyword to your code. So let's go ahead back into my list so we can see what that may look like. So we've successfully launched a keyword campaign that is asking for more information. So in the system, anytime something is underlined means that you can go into the record a little bit more. So in my contact database, you'll notice that I have my list, and I have the various information because I have asked for it. So we have Jane and Michelle and Mike and Sarah and Steve that is opted in, and they've provided us with a little more information. So I'm going to go into Jane just so I can show you with relative ease that we have collected her first name, her email address, but then we've also collected what city she's in, what they were interested in, the birth month, as well as the state. So all of that data will be associated with that mobile number within the system. Another way that you can collect data is an online sign-up page. So under your collect option, if we go back to our keyword and online sign-up tools, and you scroll down just a little bit more, you can see the online sign-up page. So I've created a few, but these are so easy to create. Let's go ahead and create one together. So I'm going to go ahead and select create. And the description, remember, is just for me. So this is our demo OSP 21. And then you can select online for a hosted URL where you can add just a little bit more information at the bottom of the URL to make it more unique. So for here, this is our demo sign up. I can also select the embedded HTML if you would like. And what that will do is give you an iframe code, and you can put into an existing web page that you have. For this purpose, we're going to select the hosted. I'm going to change this to just, we're not going to host it on any particular page, but I can send out that link or attach that link to an existing web page that I have. And then I'm going to select what fields do I want to collect. So here, I think I want to collect, obviously, their mobile number. By default, we're always going to ask them for their name. So maybe I also want to know what they are interested in. And then maybe what city they are in as well. So here I'm going to also select what list do I want these to go to. So let's go ahead and just create a new list. And this is my demo OSP list. And remember, your distribution list is just a short name for your display name. This distribution list name will allow you to authenticate your phone number and actually send a message from your phone without logging into the system. So stay tuned for another training video on that. So my display name is how it's going to appear in my list. So this is just my demo OSP 21. And then for compliance, you just have to give how many messages do you think you're going to send a month and what type of messages. And as easy as that, I've created my new list and it's already in my selected list. I'm also going to go ahead and just put a quick thank you message. Thank you for signing up for our mobile alert platform. And then an optional return URL for us. I'm going to put iZigg, but you of course want to put whatever your company URL or what URL you want them to go to. Of course, for compliance, my age restriction. If you would like to collect international signups, you can select this option. And if you want added security, you can enable the CAPTCHA as well. And that, of course, is where they just need to read a certain phrase or word and enter it in just to authenticate themselves. So here I'm going to continue on my journey. And this is where we can now either choose a template or I can go ahead and upload my iZigg logo or a company logo. Just for ease of use, we're going to select a quick template here. There's a couple to choose from. You can alter these if you would like to. I'm going to hit OK. And then I can select to edit any of this information if I would like to, as you can see. I can change the fonts. I can even change the color if I would like to. For a mobile experience, you can change the background color. You can change it to fit more in line with your brand, text color, your font family, and then your headers. And it will give you an option to see what it will look like via a mobile phone, as well as your online sign up here. So here you can see a little bit what this may look like. So we know that we're going to capture the first and last name and their mobile number, but also we've asked them, what type of messages are you interested in? What city are you from? So this is just an example. You can ask as many data points as you want to here. Being an online sign up page, probably a little bit easier to collect more data. So I'm going to go ahead and just submit this for approval. They're generally approved pretty quickly, but I'm going to go ahead and just select one that I have already created so you can see what that looks like. Would help if I go down. Here we go. So now I'm down here on my online sign up pages. This is the actual link or your URL that you can use to associate with any of your websites or even send out, attach to a QR code and send to people. For my purposes, let's just go ahead and see what this looks like. So I'm going to select the URL. And as you can see, this is my online sign up page. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name, my phone number, my birth date. Here I'm just going to put the birth month. And then I am interested in training. And I am making sure that I'm following compliance. Your subscribers can hit submit. And they should receive just a verification text with information on how to complete the process. So from their phone, they'll just select verify, and then they will be opted into the list. So now that we've collected this data, and here you see it went back to my website when I finished, like I asked the the OSP to do. So now I've collected information. I now have launched a keyword campaign. I have my OSP. I know how to collect with my QR code. So what am I now doing with all of this data? So now if I want to create filters in the system, those are called dynamic targets. So under your Manage tab, again, you'll notice that there is a dynamic target option. And this is really where you're going to create certain filters that will allow you to target your messaging. So for us, let's go ahead and just create a quick one based on information that we've collected. So I know that I have collected, let's say the types of alerts, whether that was training or it was product announcements or coupons. And then where am I applying this? So I can select all the lists, as you can see. Or I can only select one or two if I would like to. So I'm just going to select my OSP list that I created. And then I'm going to add those filters. So let's go ahead and add. This is interested products. My data type was custom data because that was the custom data field that I had created. And then to fine tune that a little bit more, that's going to be my interested in. And then here you see that we're going to define that filter a little bit more. So I only want to include the people that have selected training series or coupons or product announcements, or you can select any of the combination. So I'm going to go ahead and add that filter. And I'm going to activate that dynamic target. So while the system is figuring out who in the list does this apply to, you can see that under my types of alerts, I have one subscriber that was interested in the types of data that I had filtered through. So really easily, we can go ahead and now create a message. So remember, there are different ways to send messages. For our purposes, let's do the quick message up in the upper right-hand corner. When you just want to send a quick message or use one dynamic target and send to one list, this is the easiest way to do it. So this is remember that description is always just for you that you can go back and look at in your recent message tab. So this is my demo test message. I can, of course, select to send this message now or at a later date. And here in my contact list, this is where I'm going to say, you know what, I want to select my dynamic target. And the one that I had created that I want to select is types of alerts. So here I know that I'm sending these out to people that were interested, and I believe we selected training. So here I can then say, we know you are interested in our training series. Please sign up. And then I can go ahead and even put my URL in there. I can put my registration link, any link that I want to send them to here. So for our purposes, let's go ahead and just do our iZigg.com, but it could be my registration link for the webinar series. And we're going to shorten that URL. I always suggest that you use our URL shortener because it will also track this as well. And remember, I'm just going to go ahead and add a few little spaces there. I'm going to agree to my terms and I'm going to send that message. So now we have sent a message using the filters that we have created from the data that we have collected. So we have successfully gone in and created our custom data fields to collect the data. We've created our keywords and online sign-up pages and associated those data fields. We've launched a successful campaign. We now have data to work with. So we've gone in and created those dynamic targets that are going to allow us to filter those lists. So one thing that I also wanted to mention is, let's say that you've been an iZigg customer for years and you have all these lists and they already have, hundreds or even thousands of people in it. And you're like, gosh, Michelle, what do I do now? I have all these mobile numbers, but I don't know information about them. The best thing that you can do is to go ahead and do all the steps that we just did, create a new keyword or an online sign up page, and do a blast to those people and say, thank you for being such a loyal customer. We want to, fine tune our messaging or send you relevant information. Please reply with whatever keyword. So in our purpose, it would be please reply with collect. So we can kind of just do an example of that together. So this is my data test for collection via keyword. And here, I'm just going to go ahead and send this to either all of my lists. I can go the long way and do that, or send it to a particular list. So if I wanted to send it to one list in particular, I can go ahead and just in my composition say, thank you for being such a loyal customer. In order to serve you better, please reply with, and for us, I think it was collect or collect one. And then I can go ahead and send that out. That's going to go to everybody on my list. And that's going to start that data collection process. So now you have a list that has people that have been subscribing for years. You can now ask them more information and hopefully collect more data from them. So thank you so much for attending this webinar on data collection. We'll be putting this up on our YouTube channel. We'll be emailing you and making sure that you know that we do have an entire training series coming up, short training clips that are going to be available. And then we also want to hear from you what is relevant. So hopefully you found that helpful today. Thank you so much and have a great day.